Hey YouTube, I am bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. I know it's been a while. I've been very just not interested in playing Yu-Gi-Oh and certainly not GOAT format. GOAT format's kind of, I think I've peaked with GOAT format and my interest in it is all but gone. However, I did find Edison format, which I think is very similar to early GOAT format in that you could really run anything and it would be super competitive. And it has a lot more viable options, but I just enjoy the much larger card pool. However, I do wish that Metaforces were legal. Anyways, I think Edison has a lot of opportunity to go into and just play really anything and just have a great time. Very similar to GOAT format, what it was, like I said, but I'm gonna hop right in. I have a new camera angle, so I know that there's all this shadow right here, but unfortunately, due to the way my room is, I really can't avoid that, but let's just start. So I am running and let me know if this angle is not great, but I am running a Flamvell deck. It is the first Edison deck that I built. I used to play Gladiator Beast, which is actually my favorite deck of all time. But I went ahead and built Flamvell. It'll be my first playable Edison deck. I still have Gladiator Beast that I can build, waiting on just a few cards to max rarity it. But I'm also trying to see if I can get, shoot, what is it? Volcanics. I think Volcanics would be a lot of fun, but they are very expensive. But I'm still learning the format, still learning like ban list and stuff and what's legal, what's not legal, things of that nature. And then what's really good and what's not good. So looking at this trap lineup, it is 1 7 tools, 1 trap dust shoot, 1 royal oppression, 1 solemn judgment, 1 starlight road, 1 torrent, 2 bottomless, and then 2 dimensional prison. So a lot of what's really popular in this format is going to be, from what I've seen, Black Wings, Gladiator Beast, Quake Draw still kind of popular, like plants. Value Turbo, which not exactly Blackwing, but similar, I guess. And then Flamvell's kind of popular. Lightsworn's rather popular. And this new Christia dot fairy dot deck, really. Is super popular, which also I'm trying to build like a version of. But I think this is a pretty standard trap lineup. I know Royal Oppression is at 2 in the format. It's something I thought about, but I think it kind of conflicts with the Rekindling. Maybe even drop it out entirely. It doesn't do great against the Value Turbo or just Value in general. I don't even think it does great against Blackwings because all they can do is they just have to summon Sirocco, and then they can kind of sit on Sirocco. So I don't even know if Royal Oppression's all that good because I don't have stuff that's really that strong. I think Royal Oppression's probably best in Blackwings and just kind of viable in other decks as long as you can bring out like a semi-strong beater. But Blackwing's also backed up by Value's pretty strong. I think Dimensional Prison might be something worth looking at 3 of due to the fact of Christia is very popular in the format and also just very difficult to get rid of, as well as it just stops Gladiator Beast once they start doing their tagging. Prevents Value from being super great, I guess, if you hit the right things at the right times. But Bottomless does a very similar thing. Starlight Road just hits a tremendous amount of cards. It almost might even be worth running 2 of, especially when they can just Bottomless a Rekindling that brings back possibly 2 Fire Dogs. Something to think about. And the rest of it just kind of stable, I guess, except for 7 tools. 7 tools kind of acts almost as a second Solemn. I think traps in this format are super powerful if you play them right. And I know that's a very blank statement, but you can get a lot of advantage out of any of these trap cards because from what I've seen in Edison, a lot of decks rely on specifically like 1 power monster to kind of guide them through. So if you're able to use like Bottomless or Dimension Prison or Torrent, I guess, in some cases to get rid of that power monster, or in this case, your power monster, be it whatever Rekindling really brings out, then you can just 7 tools that, as well as there's some very devastating traps in terms like Icarus attack that 7 tools hits. I did think of doing like My Body, but I think 7 tools additionally being able to hit Royal Oppression is a reason to run the 7 tools. Going into the spells, we have 3 copies of Rekindling. Obviously, it's really the main reason to play this deck. 3 copies of Book of Moon. And then we have 1 Brain Control. I think it's at 1. I think it is legal in Edison. If not, then this can be Mind Control. Again, this is something I just kind of threw together really quick. I'm not very familiar with the format. I'd love to have someone to play it with. 1 Heavy Storm, 1 MST. I think Giant Trinade's also legal. So is Cold Wave. Both definitely cards I heavily consider. Cold Wave could probably combo super well with Flamvell Dog, just being able to get out Synchro. But I think shutting down the Rekindling and your back row, I don't think this deck really has strong enough cards to warrant that. In cases like Gladiator Beast, they can bring out Geyseris and just blow up everything and then just sit on Herc. And Herc is one of the strongest cards. Lightsworns can just sit on JD. Really, like, a lot of decks can just sit on a lot of things. I don't think this is one of those decks, to be honest. 1 Gold Sark to snag up Heavy Storm, Rekindling, or possibly any of the monsters, maybe. Really, before Raikou has a chance, I do play 3 Raikous, so really just snag up one of those before Raikou has a chance to mill it. And then 1 Pot of Avarice. Again, like, you go through a lot of monsters in this deck super fast, especially because of Raikou. Maybe even Card Trooper would be worth tossing in here. I think that's why I love Edison. There's so many different ways you can run things. But I think as it is, it's definitely fun to play with and work around. Pot of Avarice, it could possibly go up to 3, but we'll keep it right there for now. And then looking at the monsters, we have 3 Kais. It's been noted before, I saw somewhere, and I think it to be true, that going Raikou, setting turn 1 Raikou, if they can't destroy it, and you can flip it, destroy one of their cards, and then sacking into Caius, nets you a tremendous amount of advantage. So I think Raikou Caius 3 of is super, not important, but super powerful for sure. We play the 3 Spies. Again, great Synchro fodder, great Tribute fodder. 1 Descendant to just help additionally just blow up other cards. 3 Fire Dogs. 3 Magician. So some people could definitely think like 3 Magician with 3 Fire Dogs is definitely a bit too much. Well, not 3 Fire Dogs, but 3 Magician. Possibly run like maybe even 2, possibly even 1. However, I don't know. I don't think Magician in and of itself is just horrible. It's definitely, it's not great. 1400 is still something that you can get in with. You can still do damage. You can use it to bait out Raikous. You can use it to run over like Dandelion tokens. You can use it to do a few things. 1400, not bad damage. And just opening with it doesn't just ensure you lose or put you behind. It's definitely worth being able to just set turn 1 and make them think that you're bluffing the Raikou, which I do also run 3 Raikous. 1 Super Nimble in order to search them out. Very similar to Spy. Great defense, great field presence, sack for Caius, and great tuner presence, or great synchro material. 1 DD Crow. A lot of decks this format, again, that have been mentioned, and this is why I think Gladiator Beast really shines. They have access to Ready Airy. But DD Crow just being able to remove Vayus, Flamvell monsters, plants. You can remove any of their stuff. Lightsworn, you can remove names. Really just DD Crow just does a lot in this format. And then the 1 of Gores. I don't, outside of, I think it was Royal Tribute, I don't believe I have any permanent back rows. So Gore is definitely worth running in this. And then here's something where I definitely need help on. So I do want to add more tuners to this. I'm thinking maybe 1 copy, and it may even be worth dropping a Magician for, but even just 1 copy of Junk Synchron to help expand my Synchro pool, as well as being able to utilize the Raikous in the graveyard. But right now, I definitely have a lot of work, like I said. I have 2 Stardust Dragon, 1 Colossal Fighter, 1 Black Rose, 1 Arcanite. And Arcanite's really in here for the, I could brain control something, use it with Spy, but again, if I add Junk Synchron, then Arcanite becomes completely viable. 1 Brio, 1 Goyo, 1 Iron Chain, 1 Cataster, 1 Junk Warrior, again for the thought of Junk Synchron. Then maybe if I end up like siding these, I just have 1 of these because I think it's important to keep this in case your opponent also leaves stuff on the field. You can just fuse into it. I have seen that happen before. Anyways, let me know what you think. Any suggestions, fixes, things of that nature. What should I add to the extra deck? Again, I'm relatively new to the format. Have a lot to work on, to think about. But thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.